Have you done all the rituals, gone to church, said your mantra, burned your sage, only to feel empty? Well, let's talk about that. Hey guys, it's John out here on the back deck on a cloudy day, but it's in the 60s and it's just a beautiful day. And I wanted to hop on and talk about this idea of all of these rituals, these doctrines, these dogmas, these techniques that we all go through and have all done, but we still feel like we're disconnected from spirit, from God. People have tried everything from mass to meditation to astrology to you list it. It's there. People have done them all, but there is this element that is missing in all of them. Each one of these principles is designed to say that you are to do these things to get to something ahead of you. And the reality of it is everything is here now. Everything is within you already. And the only moment you experience it is in the now, in the present. For me personally, I grew up Catholic, and the Catholic Church never made me feel special. It made me feel unworthy, made me feel guilty, made me feel afraid of burning in hell. It wasn't until I was 19 and I had an experience where I felt the pure love of God through the person I call Jeshua. In that feeling, in that moment, I realized what all of those churches were trying to get you to, all of those doctrines were trying to get you to, and I realized that none of them were necessary. Here in the present, you can be love, and when you release your fears and anxieties of the present moment and you come back to the state of pure love, you literally are creating that feeling that all of those rituals are trying to get you to, that feeling right in the now. The kingdom of heaven is within you, is what Jeshua said. He said, ye are gods. All of that experience of that love and compassion and that bigger, broader spiritual awareness, that expanded spirit is right there in this moment, right in this present moment. And it's for each one of us to expand our spirit. Now, what is spirit? Spirit is an interesting word because in spirituality, it's been meant to mean a lot of things, but in reality, what it means is your non-corporeal self, the non-physical self that is connected to everything and everyone. There is this broader awareness. Itzhak Bernard has talked about this idea of the individual awareness where you're not aware of anybody else, and then as you grow in awareness, you start to realize that you are connected to the people around you, and you start finishing each other's sentences and things of that nature. And then the further you expand your spirit, you connect to the spirit of all others and into the oneness of God, and realize that we're all connected as one. And this idea from Itzhak Bernard is beautiful in its simplicity because it always comes back to the idea of you expanding your awareness, you expanding your spirit. And when you look at it from the perspective of the kingdom is within you, it doesn't say the kingdom is something that you have to seek and strive to get to through ritual doctrines or dogmas. It's here, it's now, it's in the present moment. And in this present moment, you have the ability to literally just express it, to choose to be it. Be the change you want to see in the world, as Gandhi would say. So what if spirit was truly with you all along? What if Jeshua was right when he said the kingdom of heaven within you? And what about Buddha saying, be the lamp unto yourself? Be the lamp unto yourself means that the light is within you and you are shining it upon yourself. But the rituals, the dogmas, the doctrines are the lamp shade that don't let us see the light. When in reality, we are the ones shining the light. We are the ones putting the light out there in the world. Eckhart Tolle says, the moment you realize that you're not present, you're fully present. It's a matter of realizing that these doctrines, these dogmas, these rituals are not in any way, shape, or form present. And because they're not present, they're bypassing the experience of spirit, the experience of being in the now. Old age religions created sacramental systems, baptism, confession, confirmation, etc. New age ideologies have done the same thing. You have to sit with your sage. You have to consult your crystals. You have to. These are all things that are saying that the power is not within you, that the power is in these other objects or these other methods or modalities that are outside of yourself. But the kingdom of heaven is within you. Be the lamp unto yourself. Shine that light on yourself and realize those things outside of you are things that you are putting faith in. When you turn it around and you put faith in yourself, you realize that The inside of you is infinite. Like in Doctor Who in the TARDIS, you go in the TARDIS, it's huge inside, right? And here in your world, you're huge because you are connected to everything. And we feel individual, we feel like the phone booth, but in reality, we are the TARDIS. We are this experience of this expanded self when we choose to be present with it. These religions have created these gatekeepers called clergy, priests, deacons. You know, they're telling us that we are not worthy. We have to come to the people that they've said are the ones who are worthy to be the middleman between you and God. And that's not at all what any of the old avatars said. Jeshua never said that. He said the kingdom of heaven is within you, right? You don't need a middleman. You don't need a gatekeeper between you and God. And God is not distant. God is within. God is the power of God is within you. And when you step into that power within you, then you start to realize that you can affect the world in positive ways. The unfortunate part about these ideas of the middleman and the doctrines and dogmas is they set up guilt and self-doubt and worth issues that make us fear the punishment, that the rituals aren't going to be effective, or we're not going to do them the right way, or we fear that we're never going to measure up to this God that's external. But in reality, you are a part of God. And there's no part of God that's not worthy. You are one with that source. You are one in the ability to live in that source. Imagine it's like in Seinfeld, right? God is the soup Nazi, right? He's there, and you come up and you say, "Oh, you didn't do it right. No soup for you." It's this idea that God is going to deny you because you didn't do it right. You're one with God. There is no not doing it right. There's only you coming to the place of fully embodying the love of God within yourself and being that love, forgiving yourself. Oftentimes we spend our lives in regret for our past, things we've done, things we should have done, things we wish we said. And in reality, you can't change the past. The past is done. It's just a series of memories of past experiences. The only moment you have to do anything with your thought, word, and deed is your present. Even your future is just a place where you set goals for your next present moment. But every experience you've ever had in life has happened in your now. Yogananda said the truth is exact correspondence with reality. It's you being in the present. Reality is here. Future is a substance waiting for belief, and the past is a memory of what that belief showed you. And the interesting is you can live in this idea. Even in the Quran, it says, when my servants ask concerning me, tell them I'm very near, because God is here. God is now. God is in this present. My friend Jeshua did not tell you that you needed a temple or a priest or a ritual to come to know God. He went out and he met the people in the fields. He forgave without sacrifice. He broke religious taboos. He literally said, before Abraham was I am, which means before there even was a religion, was me in the I am presence, me in the now. And this idea of staying in the now and this universal idea that we're all one. Jeshua wasn't the only one who taught this. Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The Bhagavad Gita says, let a man lift himself by his own self alone. Let him not lower himself. It's the idea of you stepping into that power and raising yourself up to that awareness of your oneness with God, to that awareness of your ability to live. You have the power. It's always is there. It's always been there. It always will be there. You don't have to acquire anything new. You only need to remove the veil of delusion. I love that quote. That's another Yogananda quote. You only need to remove the veil of delusion, because all of this is illusion. And when you think in negative terms or think that you're disempowered, these are delusions. These are delusions that are non-reality, because they are just stories of the mind that are being played out around you. And you can step into that power and release that in the now.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com.
Marianne Williamson says spiritual progress is returning to love, coming back to that loving state, realizing that God is love, realizing that we're coming back to our own natural state, which is love. People will confuse their practices, their methods and modalities, their techniques, their ceremonies, their sacraments with presence. But in reality, all they are is something that's saying something's ahead of you, like Eeyore with the stick and the carrot. Reciting a prayer while judging others is not living the now. I am so pious because I'm saying this prayer, and yet those people are blasphemers and heretics and horrible people, and they're going to burn in hell because they don't believe the same as I. This isn't presence. This is division. This is doubt. This is power play. And in reality, it's not love. And because it's not love, it literally is expressing a delusion. It is literally form without essence. People will do their meditation because that's what they're supposed to do, but that's performance. That's I'm putting on a performance, checking boxes, not connection, not being in the now and literally, putting it out into action in the world. Thoughts, words, and deeds are the greatest meditation. Putting all of your thoughts, words, and deeds in the present moment and loving someone, being that expression of love, so they can see that expression of love in the here and now. That is the greatest spiritual truth and the greatest spiritual practice. Be in the now, loving. Spirituality has become consumerism. Religion has indulgences and relics and paid prayers, and you got to put your tithe in every week, right? But the New Age has the endless crystals, the books, the courses, and energy clearings. They have all of these other things that are still going to a middleman, away from yourself, or going to a object that becomes your middleman. But in reality, it's all within you. Both of these ideologies, the religion and the New Age, are keeping people buying instead of being in the now. And if you think about it, if you need a shopping cart to continue your spiritual journey, you might be missing the point. You know, you don't need anything in the physical. There is nothing you need in the physical to directly connect with God in the present. It's the only moment you have that you can, and the future will only show you what you believe in the now. In the Bible, in the book of John, best darn book in the Bible, thank you very much. Jeshua said, "By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." Come back to that presence of love within and be that love. If you know, and the concept of disciples is an interesting one. People think it's some big hierarchical system where I am the leader and you are my disciples. Basically, what disciples meant to Jeshua was people who were living this truth. It had nothing to do with him. It had to be about being loving in the now. They'll know you as my disciples. They'll know you as the people who learn from me because you love one another. That's a beautiful place. Beautiful place. Wayne Dyer said, "When you dance, your purpose is not to ascertain a place on the floor; it's to enjoy the step. Enjoy this moment. Live in love. The more you love, and the more you express love, both within and without, you will enjoy dancing with life. This energy around us is just something we dance with. And the more we release fear, the more free we become to express ourselves fully in the now. And you are part of God. And when you are expressing your authentic self fully, you are bringing the kingdom of heaven to earth. You are being the joy, you are being the laughter, you are being the love that God is when you are fully 100% authentically you." Eckhart Tolle said the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. What you think you become, you create your world. That's Buddha. Thought by thought, you forge your destiny. That is Krishna. He followed that up with, therefore, to keep your mind on the positive rather than the negative is considered the austerity of the mind. To be in that positive state, to live in that loving expression of who you are and who God is within you. Every morning I wake up and I come out and I sit down in my sit in love room, and I just exhale. And I don't recite a mantra. I don't do a breathing technique except for the simple exhale. I just release and come back to the feeling, knowing full well that the things that I'm releasing are my own fears and anxieties that have built up during the day and the night. and I exhale, I just come back to that feeling of love that's always present, always found at the bottom of your breath, right there in the now. And I reboot myself every morning to that expression. I do the same thing in the evening as well. I studied lots of different forms of meditation, and all of them led me to the same place. It was the moment where I let go of the method and just relax. And that's what the exhale does for me. I bypass the ritual. I bypass the practice. I just choose to be love in that moment by letting go of the fear that hides its view, that obscures the view of love that we always are. Fear is the illusion of love's absence, but love is always there. When you do something you love, you're delivering God. When you're eating a meal that you love, you're experiencing God. When you talk to someone and listen and hear what they're saying and help them out of love, you are being the direct representation of God on earth for them. You are literally creating the experience of love in the now for them to follow, or to use it as an example. You don't want followers, you want people to find their way into their own happiness and joy and authentic selves. The direct path is not about doing a ritual. It's about being love, about being in the now, being in the expression of love. Jeshua said, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Well, if you're one with God, if you're one with Jeshua, if you're one with you and you're one with me, then we're there until the end of the age because life is eternal. We have this illusion of death here in the physical that we struggle against, but in reality, it's only an illusion of death because life is eternal. Everything we're experiencing in the here and now is just experience. It's just an experience. And when we realize that we can make that experience loving instead of fearful, then we come to realize our authentic self and who we truly are. Eckhart Tolle said, realize deeply that the present moment is all you will ever have. Make this one moment fantastic. Make this one moment perfect. Make this one moment loving, and realize that perfection itself is subjective. Yogananda said, live quietly in the moment and see the beauty of all before you. Everything around you is beautiful if you choose to let it be beautiful, if you choose to believe that it is beautiful. Here in the now, you have the ability to say, oh, this is beautiful. I am creating. And you can even see the beauty in folly. You can see the beauty in failure. You can say, oh, I learned something beautiful in this moment. You can say this didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out, but boy, in the end, it's given me information that makes my life even easier or better. You have that ability to create your life in a way that is a direct representation of your own choices, your own love, and you can be that love today. Marianne Williamson said, love is what we were born with, fear is what we learned here. This place is an expression of love, but it's shown to us through the illusion of love's absence, which is fear. And when we have that illusion of love's absence, what does that do us? What is the beauty in that? The beauty in that is that understanding the feeling of separation from that love through fear gives us the ability to know love more fully by its absence, by its illusion of its absence. To be here in the now is to literally express love through our fears. We have our fears and anxieties and we can overcome them. Buddha said the secret to enlightenment is the eradication of fear. And that idea of coming here into the physical where fear is so prevalent and overcoming the fear. The Psalms say, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. You're going down into this lower awareness, down into this valley of lower awareness, where this concept of death is shadowing everything you're doing. And it literally says, don't worry about it. Fear no evil, because God is with you, for love is with you at all times. The sun is always shining, though the clouds might block the view. Rituals can be beautiful symbols, but no ritual has any value without the belief that it's working in the now. The only true practice is love and presence, to be here in the now and bring that power that you have the ability to love here and now. You can lay down the weight of guilt and obligation. You can step into the freedom of the spirit already within you. You don't need 1,000 candles to find God. You don't need the incense or the ritual. The light is already within you. Shine it upon yourself and shine it upon others. Be the light. Live the light. Express the light. The light is love. Jeshua said, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." The truth is love. And the more you realize that you have the power to express it, and give it, and be it, then you have all the truth that you'll ever need. Buddha said, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Take this moment and deliver love, which is delivering the peace. Peace is the feeling of love. It's the relaxed state of being in that love. It is the authentic self that is found at the bottom of every breath, where you experience God, because when you let the air out, you're releasing your fears. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a fantastic day. Even though it's gray here, I know that this gray weather is so good for these trees and these plants, and I just simply love it. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.